Weber, PDW, and Brian Kritzer wild card match. Rematch of last night's round of 8 here in Reno. That was a very exciting finish. Went 7. And an emotional moment. Needing a strike late. Brian Kritzer got it. Let out a big whoop after that. So we get underway with a strike from PDW.
That's just like in practice right there, baby.
Just like in practice.
That's
and
right.
Just like what I saw in qualifying. I actually got paired with PDW, and he did a lot of that. First game he started the tournament was 279.
Third year on tour from the native of Dayton, Ohio, seeking his first ever championship. The first time we've seen him on TV since the World Championship last year, wrapping up last season in Taylor, Michigan. 4-pin stance for Brian Kritzer. He lost that championship match to Walter Ray Williams Jr., earning most of his earnings from last season just in that one day.
Tremendous tournament for him last year. One of the few, or the only qualifier, I should say, that actually pulled just about every game of qualifying to get to that point.
Takes care of the 4-pin. Single pin conversion. Leading up to our big real deal matchup, Randy.
Real even all the way across the board, any way you look at it. Spare conversion, strike percentage, average almost identical. Brian Kritzer was down 3-2. He trailed 2-3 last night. Came back, won the last 2 games, showing the last 6 or 7 in a row in Game 7 to clinch a spot on television today, Dave.
First ever TV appearance, head-to-head with Pete Weber for Brian Kritzer, who plays the lane perfectly. The ball scoots right into the pocket for a nice strike.
The speed pattern favors Brian Kritzer because he likes to throw it slow and he likes to hook it. Ball speed, or lack thereof, I should say, was a must this week. You had to keep your speed nice and soft. It was a big advantage.
Shot.
Gotta like that for Pete Weber.
That's it.
A round of 8 loss last night for Pete Weber. 11-5 match play record, 225.35 average, and also took care, unfortunately, for our own Joe Ciccone.
Sure, easy with it.
PBA bowlers like Randy, Del Ballard, Tim Chris on our ESPN crew, in addition to competing every week. Please hook, Randy. His hopes were answered quite well, I think.
We'll talk about it when we get to the lane animation, why he's saying this. If you get the ball too far to the right, there's a lot of oil to the outside part of the lane. Another half an inch or so further right, that ball doesn't get to the head pin.
Turkey start for Pete Weber. Coming off that Medford win a couple of weeks back. He told us even prior to that, the show earlier this year in Albany, he wasn't worried a bit about the point rankings because he was doing so well. Now he's clinched his status. The question is, can someone like Brian Kritzer get there also as he tries to climb that points list and make the All-Gen Tour next year?
Brian Kritzer gets it into the switch zone. That slow ball speed, nice rev rate, and big back end. Gets those off hits to strike. Brian Kritzer told me last night, Dave, he bowled so bad the first half, he couldn't bowl any worse. And to just be out of the top 50 in the point list was bonus. He says he's got nowhere to go but up from here. Oh!
4-pin for Kritzer, who wanted that one pretty badly. He said, plain and simple, I was not bowling well. And in the Christmas break after Winter Locks event, he was not in the TOC. Had some time to recharge the battery a bit. He spent a lot of time with his 2 children and just worked on his techniques, a lot of practice. Time there we see World Championship, the march to that round of Super 16. Brad Angelo is the leader right now. Mika Koivu not far behind him with another great week at the ABC Masters here. Pete Weber 4th overall, so for good reason he's not concerned about the points. On the line in this event today, $25,000 to the winner.
Brad Angelo at the top of the list. He's made match play in every event but 2.
9 goes down very late.
And that's huge, too, because you don't want to be shooting a 4-9 when you're already ahead in the match. That ball breaks real sharp down the lane. One way to combat that for Pete is to just throw it a little bit harder.
10-pin lead for Pete Weber. Takes care of the 4-pin for his mark.
A couple of weeks ago in Medford, you see that deep inside line that Petey was playing on this pattern B. This week, a little bit straighter, but the lanes haven't broken down yet. Remember, we still have 3 matches to go. But keep in mind, the ball that Pete Weber's using now was the same ball that he used on the right lane in the championship match that he was going really straight and direct with.
Trying to improve on his tee numbers here today, Randy, and that's a good way to do it. Strikes it 4 to 5 first frames for PDW.
He just come out of it.
10-pin lead for Pete.
Simple as that.
Brian Kretzer spending time with his daughter Megan, who's 17, son Mason, who is 7. Over that Christmas break time, just looked at his game and said, what have I got to do? Drastic changes were necessary. But he put it on himself, as he told us last night. It was my fault, no one else's.
Third step goes way left. That gets his body out of the way. His swing line follows it, and that's what helps him project the ball to the right. His hand in rotation gets the ball to return back. But you're right, Dave. I mean, he went home and literally practiced on a real easy condition to loosen his swing up. He felt like he was bowling in a phone booth. Felt like he had no room for air left or right and couldn't get the ball off his hand. Practicing on an easy lane condition will free your swing up.
4 shots just like that. A double in the 5th and 6th. Everything all even.